Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Ryder and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Ryder Lee's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The little correction and little motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You're familiar with our training equipment, so you're going to be taught how to use that more effectively during your follow-up training session tomorrow. Now, Ryder is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking without pulling you out of your shoes, and the command is Ryder heel.
Ryder, heel.
Now at this point, Ryder Lee has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when walking. Not forging ahead or lagging behind, but staying right with you. What you want to do with her is make sure that you're keeping her head up off the ground. That is her worst problem, wanting to drop her head on the ground. And at that point, she's taking control of the walk. So you will see that Rich gives her those little tugs that we talked about as a reminder. And when he stops, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So when you're walking down the street and you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone, she should be sitting nicely without being told and waiting for her next command. The next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you do not use her name. Just the one-word command to stay. You're going to practice this exercise inside as well as outside, and she's been worked in both places here at school. And when Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, counterclockwise, ending up back to where they started with her at his left. And at this point, she expects to get another command. So you stop at those shoulders. And they take off heeling again. Now the stationary exercises, your sit stays and your down stays, they can be best practiced indoors, and you're going to lengthen out your time and your distance. This helps to develop her emotional stability, her maturity, her focus, her ability to pay attention, all things that German Shorthair Pointer puppies lack. Rich leaves her in another sit-stay. He walks out to his leash and he turns to face her. He lets her hold that, and don't let her get too distracted. He'll throw in another stay. Then this time, instead of returning back to her, he's going to use her name and he's going to call her, and this is your come on command. She's been taught to come and sit nicely in front of you, not jump all over you. And then she goes back to heel position, and they're right back where they started. And that's all. Everything starts and stops at heel position. Rich gives her a little bit of love for a good job. You don't want to overpraise her right out of the gate because she's very high-strung. And that just excites her, and so you're confident that you can get her back under control after praising her up. Limit the amount of praise till when the training session's finished.
Stay. Not down.
She's anticipating.
Stay.
And she will do that when she's not paying full attention to you, because she's not really listening. She's just going to run through the commands without you. She and Rich have worked very hard on this. Rich is going to call her again. Ryder, come. Brings her right into a sit, and then back to heel. Very good. She's come a long way in a short time, and I think you're going to be really proud of her. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So she has to be seated at your left first. You're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Now again, her worst problem is her wanting to put her nose on the ground. Rich has been working very hard to correct that, because that is a distraction and she will pop up. And it's very hard with sporting dogs. They are driven by scent. So you're going to work and work and work and work on her keeping her head up off the ground. 3 to 5 minute long down stay when you're practicing at home. And when Rich returns back to her again, he walks all the way around her. She maintains that down until he gets back to her shoulders, and then he tells her what he wants her to do next.
Ryder,
Now he could have told her to stay again, and as you get more comfortable with your commands and working with her, you can mix it up and have fun with it so it doesn't get boring for her or for you. On the heel, you can change direction like Rich is doing now. Keep her more focused. And you see that when he starts to get a little creative, she starts looking up at him and paying better attention.
Ryder,
She looks so pretty when she's walking along like that. Now back to sit, down, stay.
no, down, stay.
Now that's exactly what you do if she doesn't do it the first time. It's no, down, stay. So she started to pop up and Rich corrected her, still correcting that nose on the ground thing. She'll do that in the house as well. It doesn't matter where she is. And this time Rich will call her out of that down stay. Good job. Back to heel, back sitting. Very good. And the very last command, and I don't know why we make it the last command because it's the hardest command, is the down from a distance. And while the weather is, you know, not great here still, and it's a little cold and it's supposed to rain off and on, don't not work her. Work her in the house. Oh, sorry. Rich leaves her in a sit stay and he turns to face her. He's going to use his right hand to give the command, and he drops her into a down from a different position, what we call a distance. And again, you're going to lengthen out your time and your distance on that as well. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Ryder's new formal on-leash obedience commands. She's a sweet girl, but she's tough, and you're going to have to be tougher and really make her do these things for you so that you have a well-behaved young lady going forward. We've enjoyed having her. She's a nice girl, and we want to thank you again for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.